As usual, we will take first the remarks of the chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. Then we take the technical briefings from the Minister of Health, the Director General, NCDC, and the National Coordinator. If there are updates from the various ministers, we shall let you know before we take the questions. But let's make today's business very brisk so that we can make our questions very, very compact. I thank you very much. I now invite the chairman of the Presidential Task Force to the podium.
Members of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press, let me further extend the profound apologies of the Presidential Task Force for this delayed briefing. You wake up in the morning and you have to contend with several issues as regards our national response. And we hope in spite of that, we will be able to cover as much ground as possible and to also allow you, for those of you that are observing the Ramadan fast, to be able to file your reports as quickly as possible and also go to break your fast. I welcome you to the national briefing by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 for Friday, 8th May 2020. Nigeria, like the rest of the world, continue to plow through this uncharted territory of COVID-19. The national response being pursued is robust, comprehensive, and all-inclusive. State governments have been constantly consulted and advised to adapt and align their actions with guidelines issued by the federal government. The Presidential Task Force has intensified the monitoring of the level of compliance with the advisories and guidelines already issued. The outcome of our surveillance still points to the fact that violations are still very rampant, and as I have always pointed out, it portends not only danger, but it's a very dangerous trend. The Presidential Task Force has been consulting with the security agencies and arrived at the conclusion that strict enforcement should be adopted. As part of the conclusions of the meeting with the security chiefs, the following were also agreed. 1, to strengthen enforcement in collaboration with the states. 2, all exempted persons, including journalists and medical personnel, should always carry a verifiable and authentic means of identification. 3, security agencies should improve monitoring of their personnel and interaction with the citizens. 4, citizens should respect the sacrificial role of security agencies and desist from assaulting security personnel and damaging security infrastructure. And 5, appropriate PPE and related protective gears will be provided for the security personnel. 6, security agencies should always respect the fundamental rights of citizens during enforcement. And 7, enlightenment and awareness should be intensified at all levels. And lastly, 8, if need be, revisit the strategies on the basis of spatial compliance. I must reiterate that the measures taken are not punitive. Rather, they are to save our lives and prevent the uncontrolled spread of COVID-19 among our beloved ones and within our communities. We recognize the existence of multifaceted challenges and shall keep on emphasizing this in our daily briefings as well as through our information, education, and communication media. The Presidential Task Force urges the media and all key stakeholders to step up the roles we play in the sensitization, and awareness efforts. Nigeria is presently at the community transmission phase. And yesterday, Thursday, 7th May 2020, we witnessed the highest single-day number of 381 confirmed cases. This could be considered worrisome, but for the fact that this rise is associated with our increased testing capacity, which has provided opportunity to detect hitherto hidden cases. However, this increased testing does not translate to higher fatality rates, as in the last few days we have witnessed a good number of discharges and a continual reducing daily fatality rate. We have also received reports from the state which suggest that the treatment centers are running out of bed spaces. As we assess the situation, the Presidential Task Force shall also begin to examine our peculiar circumstances, modify the strategies for care management, and consider viable alternatives where necessary. At the appropriate time, the guidelines and protocols shall be unfolded. The Presidential Task Force is liaising with the Task Force on Movement of Agricultural Produce under the leadership of the Honorable Minister of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in order to ensure that food scarcity is not experienced in any part of the country. Another objective of this collaboration is also to minimize the abuse of the exemption granted for the movement of goods under these guidelines. Further to the update by the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs on the evacuation of Nigerians yesterday, I'm pleased to inform you that another batch is due to arrive or has arrived Lagos today, and they are on transit to Abuja. They will immediately be ferried to Abuja by Air Peace Airlines, where they will observe the supervised quarantine for 14 days. The Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs will provide further information on that. Finally, I wish to underscore our appeal to Nigerians to please continue to comply with the guidelines. You must take personal responsibility for your actions. I now yield the podium to the Honorable Minister of Health to update you on new developments, and subsequently the DG, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, and the National Coordinator. Thank you for listening.